Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another day. It has not been promised, but because of grace and mercy, we're all here together. Good morning. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, and welcome to this morning's edition of the Mike Prince Show. As always, we try to cover what we can while we can with some substance, clarity, and understanding, and today will be no exception to the rule. We want to give a congratulations to Bethune-Cookman. Although their season fell short last night, losing to Florida by the score of 6-1, they did have a fantastic ride. The NCAA Sweet 16 version has been set and established, and the Wildcats will be headed to the sunset. Another reminder that the Prairie View A&M University Prospect Camp is going on, day 2. Coach Shotgun Willie Simmons and company on the beautiful campus of Prairie View A&M University. Belleville Youth football registration and cheerleader registration will be the 14th of this month, beginning at 5 a.m. I believe it is 5 p.m. It's going to be at San Bernard Electric Company in Belleville, Texas. Once you sign up, there are no refunds, so make sure you go ahead and get all that taken care of. Hope everything is going good for you on this lovely Tuesday. I am happy, as the folks should say, mighty glad to be here with you on this morning. Hope everything is working out for you, yours, and your loved ones as we continue to roll on and roll right in. It is just about football season, but guess what? We still got a lot of baseball left. The College World Series will be cranking up here momentarily, and we'll be all about it. Today's topic is going to be something that affects each and every one when you step into the big boy circuit, and that is the APR. We'll break that down and a whole lot more right here on this morning's edition of the Mike Prince Show. We'll take a break, and we'll come right back with the start of our program.
Yes, this is Willie Simmons, and I'm calling in to remind everyone that the Prairie View A&M University football team will be hosting 3 prospect camps beginning this Monday, June the 5th. Those dates will be June the 5th, Tuesday, June the 6th, and then the following Tuesday, June the 13th. On our beautiful campus, you can go to abcsportscamp.com. Again, that's abcsportscamp.com to register for those, or you can just show up and be a walk-in and pay as you show up. The cost is $40. It's a one-day camp. Registration will begin, I think, at 8 a.m. for the Monday camp, and then 9 a.m. for the Tuesday camp. Again, Prairie View A&M University football looking forward to hosting 3 prospect camps for all high schools, student athletes grades 9 through 12. Again, grades 9 through 12 and any junior college prospect on Prairie View A&M's campus. Thank you.
And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show, coming to you live each and every weekday right here at obnradio.com. You can also check us out at ktorradio.com. And if you happen to be on the go, punch in the number 605-477-5066. That number again, 605-477-5066. People always ask us, why do you use a phone and why do you go through that? That phone is our app. Everyone does not have access to internet. Everyone does not have the data plan, but just about everyone has a phone, whether it is the old-fashioned landline or your cell phone, and it doesn't eat up your minutes. You can save that number, 605-477-5066, lock it in, and guess what? That becomes your app for us, and you get 24-hour programming 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. And you can also follow us on TuneIn Radio at Open Mic Broadcast Network. We're getting right into today's show. As you may have heard on yesterday, we made mention about Coach Kador. I had a feature on Kador and his retirement. from the baseball program at Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and had a wonderful, wonderful early morning interview with Coach Cato that we're going to be putting out real soon on the Sports Report here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And just a good guy, a fabulous communicator, and you're going to be interested and intrigued on what he has to say and exactly how he says it. So be on the lookout on that. You can follow us on Twitter at Radio Guy for the alerts when we post that up through our network at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Well, as we made mention, college has evolved into a billion-dollar business when it comes to the athletic part of it. Education, higher education is an expensive piece as it is as well. And as a measure of accountability and responsibility, the NCAA has adopted a program that is called Academic Progress Rate, which was commonly known as the APR. And with the APR, it is a measuring guide, if you will, for institutions as a matter of making sure that the student athlete gets an education in exchange for their athletic skills and services. In particular, if you have a student athlete that is on any type of financial aid or anything of that nature, this program has been incorporated, infused, if you will, as a measuring stick and a guideline to help make sure that everybody stays within the playing field and the rules, if you will. Now, the challenge has been that people would begin to argue the fact that maybe, just maybe, it's a little unbalanced in how it is actually filled out. I want to read something from you that came from the NCAA explanation of this APR, or the Academic Progress Rate. It was asked, what is APR and how is it calculated? It says, while the ideal of more contemporary and accurate measures of a team's academic success is supported in the early 2000s, but part of this comprehensive plan came to fruition in 2004 at the NCAA convention. And this was put into what is now called the most infamous acronyms throughout the NCAA world, and that is APR. Now, this APR progress, it is a deal to hold institutions accountable for the academic progress of their student athletes through a, team-based metrics and accounts for the eligibility and how things go and so forth. Now, there are three different levels of penalties and sanctions, if you will. Level 1 is not that major of a deal. Level 2, it starts getting a little hairy. And then level 3 is when you start having some issues, if you will, some trouble in the camp. So each student athlete, they receive points, if you will, for staying in school. And they get points for being academically eligible. And there's a total build-up point system, and I believe it's on a 1,000-point scale. And you have to maintain a 930 in the past 4 years, or a combination of a 940 on your last 2 years. And so the cry of wolf, or the cry of foul, I should say, is that a lot of people are saying that this system is somewhat rigged and that it is heavily striking against HBCUs. And a lot of foul play has been cried upon, and as a result, people are saying that it needs to be changed, it needs to be rearranged, and it needs to be, some even say, just flat out abolished. But then the question on the other hand is, shouldn't the student be, at least rewarded an education for their athletic abilities to be able to compete and rake in this money? And there's been a lot of discussion on if athletes should get paid, and all that is fine. But shouldn't that student athlete at least work towards getting a degree? Because let's look at it. 1.6% of all student athletes end up going professional. So over 7 million high school athletes, and it's less than 1,500 professional athletes in the sports that we mainly track here in the U.S. So you go figure that one out. That is a tall order. We're going to take us a quick break. And when we come back, we'll continue to talk more about the APR and its pros and negatives, and then we'll get a little bit deeper and dig into the teams that have been affected by the APR and their sanctions when we return. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show on the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Larry's Automotive, located in the Field Store community of Waller County, is equipped to handle any automotive service or repair on your diesel or gas engine, truck, car, tractor, trailer, or RV motorhome. With in-house financing and scheduled service reminders, Larry's Automotive can handle it all. So give them a call at 936-931-5566. 936-931-5566, or look them up online at larrysautomotive.net. Larry's Automotive is an approved AAA Texas repair facility employing ASC certified technicians and a 2-time Better Business Bureau Awards of Excellence winner in automotive service. That's because they believe in running an honest business with a no-problem guarantee. Remember, every service visit comes with their 12-month, 12,000-mile nationwide warranty on parts and labor. That satisfaction worth the drive. So stop on by or call today, 936-931-5566. 936-931-5566.
And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I'm your host, Dr. Mike Prince. Remember, you can follow us each and every day on Twitter at Radio Guy. Don't forget, you can listen live to 24-hour programming here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Simply dial and lock it on your phone, 605-477-5066. Our topic today is talking about the APR, and is it fair, is it unfair, is it biased against HBCUs in particular? Now, depending on who you ask, some say that it's biased and it's a problem that you got these kids and it's attacking these kids, and it's not fair that these kids are being punished for whatever reason. Then on the other hand, if you wanting to be a part of something and they set rules and guidelines, isn't it up to you to maintain the rules and guidelines to be a part of an establishment that has already been established? So it's one of those deals where you got to kind of look at it from both sides of the angle, because there is a lot of money involved when it comes to the NCAA and APR. Now, they drops money, and, it's not on the equal and fair planes, but they are dropping a lot of money throughout all of these institutions. And you got to ask yourself, is it worth what I need to do, or will it go against what I'm trying to say? Because as a matter of fact, you're even rewarded if you're in the top 10% with your APR ratings, and you get a little extra moolah, if you will. So let us go down this list, if you will, of the teams that have been affected as far as APR sanctions and penalties go. These following schools are schools that are called for ineligibility for postseason play. Alabama A&M, sports of ineligibility for postseason is baseball, men's basketball, men's golf, women's cross country, and next school would be the Grambling State Tigers. Grambling, ineligible for men's basketball, men's cross country, men's track. Howard University, their restrictions or penalties for non-championship attendance would be men's swimming and diving. Morgan State's penalty in men's cross country. Savannah State, men's basketball, football. Southeast Missouri State, men's basketball. Southern University, men's baseball, men's cross country, men's track, women's cross country. Illinois Chicago, men's cross country. Those were all schools who were not eligible to compete on championship levels. Now your level 1 penalties, these have restricted practice hours, you reduce from 20 hours to 16 hours a week. Alabama A&M, men's basketball, football, women's basketball, women's cross country, women's soccer. Florida A&M, bowling. Grambling, men's basketball, men's cross country, men's track, softball. Morgan State, women's basketball, track. Prairie View A&M University, men's basketball. Savannah State, baseball. Southeast Missouri State, men's basketball. Illinois Chicago, men's cross country. Level 2, this is where the penalties get a little bit more stiff, and they have to create programs, academia programs, and sanctions to reduce practice time. Alabama A&M baseball, men's golf. Howard swimming and diving. Morgan State, men's cross country. Savannah State, men's basketball, football. Southern University, men's baseball, men's cross country, men's track, women's cross country. And that is all. If you're listening to this and you're going like, oh my God, where is the break? Where is the mercy rule, if you will? What's going on? Why are they doing this to my HBCUs, or are the HBCUs doing it to themselves? Have they done it to themselves? We'll discuss a little bit more in detail on what could be, what could not be, and how things can be rectified. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Hope that you are enjoying your day, wherever that day may be. I want you to sit tight, relax, and we'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Hey everyone, this is Raven Justice. I just want to invite you out to our basketball camp at Prairie View A&M. We've got an individual camp, which is on June 12th through the 15th. The time is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we'll have ages 8 to 18, and that cost is only $185 for that individual attention. And then we've got our elite camp for a little bit more advanced and serious athletes, which is on June 17th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., ages 14 to 18. It's only $75. So come on out. We'd love to see you at Prairie View and have you on the hill.
And welcome back. Of course, the women's basketball team will be having their basketball camp. Just heard the dates, June 12th. Come on out and give your support. This is the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, and you're listening to the Mike Prince Show on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, coming to you weekdays, 9 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Today we're talking about the APR and how it affects all schools and some schools. And it is amazing that some schools never get caught up in the hoopla of the APR. Seem like your bigger schools find a way to dodge the bullets, if you will. They find a way to stay out of harm's way while the smaller schools are suffering. They're getting hit on every angle. Is there something to this? Yes and no. When you step into the big boys arena, you start playing by the big boys rules. And if the big boys are setting the standards and they're adjusting the standards, then we could do one or two things. We could step up and measure out to the standardized elements that have been raised, or we could graciously bow out and go back into wherever we would like to go back to. So there's a catch-22. Is it fair? No, but it is equal. And I want you to really think about that. What I'm saying is not fair, but it is equal. We know that life is not fair, but technically we all have equal opportunities. So if they keep adjusting the rules, then we have to make sure we are adjusting with the rules. And there's nothing new under the sun. Some people have the good fortunes where you just got it like that. You don't have to work too hard, but some people have to work hard every day, all day, each and every way, inside and out. But it is what it is. So you have to prepare yourself mentally. You have to prepare yourself for beyond what the norm would say. You have to prepare yourself for beyond what others may think or feel. And you got to say, if I'm going to be a part of this gamut, then I got to do what it's going to take to make my change come. I can't expect them to feel for me. I can't expect them to lay it down for me. I asked to be a part of this, and because I asked to be a part of this, then I got to step up. I got to produce. If I'm not producing, then I'm failing. And when I fail, who do I really fail? Am I failing me, or am I failing the students in which we have rallied around, and students in which we have asked to come and be a part of our institutions? There are traditions that we have at the HBCUs that no other institution would ever understand. But then you also got to realize that if we're going to step our game up, we have to step it up all the way. There are certain things they say, we're not going to feel sorry for you. You either do what you got to do or get out. But as I mentioned, there's so much money on the table. Do you leave that money down? The institutions, in particular from the HBCUs, need these funds in order to produce and generate what they do have. So what we have to do is parents dig down deep and start preparing little Johnny, little Sally for life after high school, for life after grade school. If you believe that they're wanting to be in the college environment, we got to start preparing them at that stage. Because one thing I can guarantee you, not every kid is going to make it professionally. But they will get an opportunity to make a better quality of life with a quality education. So we got to adjust to the rules. We have to infuse our youth to understand that it's more to life than the sports. Sports is a huge fiber of everyone, just about. But it's not the all answer. And you got to understand something else, that you never have a fair playing field, but the field will always be equal. We're going to take us a break. And when we come back, we'll talk about a proposal that has been approved by Texas legislation. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show on the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Hi, this is Penny Lucas White, head women's volleyball coach at the Alabama State University. I'm calling to inform you that volleyball kickoff date for all SWAC teams are August 25th. We also will have our first SWAC roundup that will be hosted by Texas Southern University in Houston, Texas on September 22nd through the 24th. Then it will be followed up with the second roundup of the SWAC in Montgomery, Alabama on October 20th through the 22nd on the campus of Alabama State University. Looking forward to seeing you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The Open Mic Broadcast Network is a community-based radio station that was established in 2002. We have been dedicated to local, regional, and community programming with coverage for high school, collegiate sports, ministries, and information. Our goal is to provide quality, productive, and positive programming that reflects the community that we serve. Visit our website, KTORradio.com and OBNradio.com.
And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show as we are coming to the wee moments of today's program. And those that have just joined us for the first time, the Mike Prince Show is a variety talk show. We talk about each and everything that's possible. Try not to get too heavily political because politics is how you lose your friends, and I value each and every one of you. But we do provide you provocative thoughts and outside-the-box thinking here at the Mike Prince Show. And with that being said, wanted to bring to note on our final segment here about a proposal that has been unanimously passed. The Sandra Bland Act was approved by the Texas House 139-0. It was posted in the Waller County News paper back on the 20th of May. And it just says Texas lawmakers approve a watered-down version of improving mental health treatment for people in jails after months of negotiation with the civil rights leaders and activists about the Sandra Bland case where she was found dead in her cell in 2015. They said it was suicide. Many have argued, debated one way, back or the other. But nonetheless, a bill has been passed, and now the House approved this bill 139-0, and it's called Senate Bill 1849. Now it's going to be up to Governor Greg Abbott if he is going to approve this or veto this with his signature. So it is stuff still in the works. Unfortunately, everything doesn't go the way we think it should go in the world, and as a result, you end up having situations such as the case here. Don't want to belabor the system any longer than what we have to, but do understand that we all are accountable to one another, and we owe it to each other to treat each other with dignity, humanity, and respect. Matters not what you think of me, matters not what I think of you. What matters most is we have opinions. Whether we agree to disagree does not matter. Whether we say tomato or tomato, you are entitled to express yourself just as I am entitled to express myself. And with that, I think I'm all expressed out for today. Remember to join us weekdays, Monday through Friday, right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Guy. Instagram is OBN Radio. And don't forget our Facebook page at Open Mic Broadcast Network. Until the next time, be blessed. We'll see you on the other side.